Hello, dudes and dudettes. It's me, Carl. I'm here with my crayon apple to go over some shit from the list of games I just played and will be playing today. This game is a very interesting game. By interesting game, I mean this is what happens when you have a person on your team that decides that they know more than the coach, and effectively has to be shown no, they absolutely do not. Here's how this game went, for the most part. We had a player that decided to pick Zyra and Fiora. And the Fiora player decided to put us in a situation where we did not have actual DPS, and went into the game starting off by talking shit. So it is without having a pick, and without having the AP damage, we just gapped this laner. Remember, and always remember, Yorick damage is split between himself, his minions, and his maiden. He has both DPS types. Playing off of this, we enter into the lane very strong, and we just do the same thing that we always do when we're playing Yorick. Try to auto things down, try to get our DPS, and in this situation, making use of our grasp, we are going to slowly and surely get level 2 and look to get our stack of a full 4 minions. Now we're looking for an E take. Goes out of skew, dodges, misses, walks up to me, basically start beating his head in. Here, we'll look on the map, and you see here, Fiora is pretty much playing at Katarina's tower, and isn't really getting much out of this situation right now. Meanwhile, we're just dodging casual abilities, trying to get the stacks for our things, but not getting all of them. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get the last 3 I needed there, and one of them didn't trigger. So now we are just pushing Cho'Gath to his tower and punishing him in this situation by constantly getting off our DPS. Shaco tries to walk up to do a gank here, but it doesn't work because I can just whoop Shaco's ass. I drop a ward over the wall so that Yi can be able to look for this. For some reason, instead of going for the Cho'Gath here, Yi chose to try and go for the kill that he can't reach on a player that he can't actually catch. So I'm just casually stacking up my minions and trying to keep the CS in this position where I can just keep stacking with my call. Now I have her 4. Jumps off this man's head. I didn't know that the box was there, but I had to let that go because he just burned his flash. Call it out. He calls out my sum. I call it his sum. He starts backing. I'll just slow push this. He uses his teleport back on the tower rather than putting on the minions, which is a misplay from him. I summon out my maiden, and now he cannot walk at me. With this pressure, our team decides to finally pay attention to the fact that Shaco is walking on Yi, and we get the dragon, guaranteed. I just slowly push out the rest of my wave, and I back. Get our first buy, and I teleport to keep the pressure. Cho'Gath tries to give me a welcome back to top lane, and I let him know was really, really good. End up pushing him back to his, pushing him back to base, and just keep slowly absorbing the pressure. And these kind of matchups versus tanks in top, where I'm going to be stacking health to begin with anyways, with first item buy for either Hull Breaker or whatever other item I want to have, I feel like constantly choosing to take Demolish with a couple of points for Precision to keep mana reservation up, because it just makes too much of a difference. I'm trying to decide which rune I really want to use with Yorick when it comes to certain matchups. In this kind of matchup, he's facing another tank top laner who's going to be building health and trying to stack his DPS. So I just look for this. Cho'Gath doesn't respect me here, so I just walk his ass down. The mana reservation coming through here. And I start calling for the Baron. because of the fact that we have this pressure. Because I don't want to have Shaco ever have an ability to get into the game. Ward out every position that Shaco would be standing in, and just start beating on the tower again. Take the tower. Here comes the Shaco. Yi decided, instead of waiting for the Shaco, that he's going to just do the Herald by himself. So now I'm fighting 2v1. I get the trade kill. He ends up getting my shutdown. And then he gets the trade shutdown, and we get the assist. Is what it is. From here, Shaco decides to randomly use the Herald topside. Like, I honestly don't know what was going through his mind. I assume he panicked. Back up on the map. We come out strong with our first item buy versus AP always, which is Hullbreaker. Additional health, additional armor, and magic resist. I come over here so I can start stacking towards my next item, but he just comes over and decides to take it from me for some fucking reason. I thought about like taking this from him, but I decided not worth it. Just walk and take the crab. And now I'm just looking to take as much shit as I possibly can from the enemy laner, as often as possible, as soon as possible. They are looking for the dragon. I'm looking to pressure to the mid lane. Start walking over. Stand in the position where we're going to be able to block off Katarina from being able to assist. Despite Fiora talking as much shit as she did, she does not want to now recognize or admit the fact that I'm carrying her on my spine. Because all of the pressure now has been coming from the topside plays, off of bringing the attention to the topside and then making Shaco say, you know what, I actually don't want to fight that no more. See the maiden. Just keep absorbing as much shit as possible. Shaco's trying to make his choice in. Force them to a situation where they have to back off my team. Slowly just looking around trying to gain vision, because unfortunately my team's not fighting for vision. Take away the pink. Then I start looking for what else I could possibly take. I decide that I think I was going to go to topside here, because it needs to be pushed in, because I'm just losing experience, because it's stalled out at this point. He chooses to go down bot to try and get a trade kill so he can just get his next item, which honestly is pretty based. He already has a Mortal Shield Bow. I prefer him to be stacked with his gold than anything else. I come over here to see if I can hit the tower. I can. Get proc of Demolish. Take the tower down. Force rotation. Take the last minions and back up. Make sure I'm fully out of vision and start getting the back. But then I thought, actually his red's up. Unfortunately not able to get the red, but because I call Zyra over, we're actually able to kill a lot here. Get all 3 lives. Go right back to pushing top. At this point, they recognize how much of a menace I am. Cho'Gath wants to do something, and Katarina wants to do something, but she can't. End up walking it out against Cho'Gath. Notice how the enemy team stopped calling sums here. It's because at this point of the game, they're tilted and they're overwhelmed and they don't know what to do. And Yi is now at his power spike. 11 and 2, enabled because of me, so that he could be able to get his kills top and be able to survive. Come over here and take the Herald by myself. Yorick has a lot of great solo potential to be able to take objectives like this, not just because of his mixed damage, but because of the fact that he'll have the ability with the Maiden and his minions to actually tank it without taking too much damage against himself. I decide to heal up here and start walking towards the map. I don't see any play in the mid because everything's pushed up because I already took the inhibitor, so I just take the blue. He goes for the dragon, as he should. And then I just decide to back because I don't want to take the rest of his camps. I only need the blue for mana reservation. Full buy my Triforce. Walk out of the map. Looking confident, looking strong, looking ahead of myself. I see that they're diving inside the base, but the last thing we have pushed in is the top lane, which is honestly just what happens in a lot of my games. We get 2 lanes of inhibitors, usually the mid and one of the other side lanes, and the other side lane just remains not being pushed because everybody just starts diving. The ARAM fest of the shitter. Walk over and start taking rest to the camp. Start forcing in the tower since they're not going to defend. Drop the Herald. Make sure that I hit this so that it doesn't waste that. And we just walk them in. And with Shelly and the minions, just outright win. Call that the viewer in the lobby. Call her shitter. Pretty simple fucking win. Like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. And I'll see y'all in the next game, because I got another one coming right up next.